If I take that out, can you hear me now? Okay, Travis, are you still there? Can you hear me now? Okay. I don't know what to do if there's no sound. Yes, you can hear me now. Okay, great. I'll take these out then and just hope that it doesn't get too loud in here with just using the sound from the phone. Sorry about that. I have no idea why. Every week there's a new challenge for me doing Facebook Live. I'm like the poster child for go ahead and do it. It'll all work out. Good, I'm glad it sounds better now. So like I said, today we're going to talk about how to create a vision for your life. And rarely do I run across anybody that has a full-blown vision for their life, a proper vision created for their life that hasn't gone through some kind of program or mentoring or something to make that happen. It normally doesn't just occur that someone creates a vision for their life. And if you think about it, a lot of times we create mini visions. We create a vision for a day or a vacation or a particular event that we're going to be involved in. And what I mean by creating a vision, rather than just a visualization, I'm a big proponent of visualization. When I was a sales trainer, one thing I always talked about was when you're in the shower in the morning, create visualize how you want your day to go by creating it step by step from you know, the mood you're in when you're driving to work. Every single thing that happens all day exactly the way you want it to be. But creating a vision is different than visualization, okay? So when you're creating a vision, even for something small, let's say for an event or a vacation or something like that, you think about it, you make decisions, you make a plan, and then you have action steps that help you to follow through on that plan, right? And that's kind of what you do when you're creating a vision for your life. But when you're creating a vision for your life, it goes much, much deeper. It requires more preparation, more introspection. It really requires peeling away a lot of the layers of who we think we are to get down to who we really are, to be able to figure out what it is that you really want in your life. So that's a huge step. And it also goes way beyond goal setting. So in terms of the steps that I see in my mind, of course, creating the statements that are your value statements in your personal manifesto is the first step. And then you create goals of what you want and action plans for those goals based on the value statements that you created. Then the next step is to take all that information and create a vision for your life. So a lot of people actually have a vision for their life that's not an empowering one. Possibly could even be a negative vision for your life. And the fact is that most people aren't consciously creating a vision for their life, like I said before. So there's always one there. There's a vision for your life that's operating, and every second of every day it's playing out, and it's up to you if it's going to be an empowering one that you consciously create or not. So now that you know that there is one that's going on, why not take the time and put in some effort and consciously create a vision that's going to serve you and help you create the life of your dreams, the life that you want to live. because that's what it's all about. So your vision that you have going on right now is in alignment with your energy. And most likely it's created by the self-talk that you have going on in your head. And you've talked about that before, that you want to get to the point where you're aware of the conversation behind the conversation. The conversation is always going on in your head all day long, no matter what you're doing. It's interesting because the self-talk that you have going on in your head is kind of like what I'm seeing when I'm looking at the screen here. I can only see an outline, a silhouette almost of me, but I can clearly see the beach behind me, and I can see little girls playing in the surf. And then if I look even deeper into the picture, I can see in the background the actual outline of my head, or part of my head anyway, as a reflection that's in the background. But when I'm just looking at the screen, all I see is my silhouette and the girls playing in the surf. So it's kind of like the conversation that's going on behind the conversation. There's multiple layers and multiple things going on all at the same time, and it depends on what you focus on. And I guess if I wanted to talk directly to you, I should be talking to the top of my phone and looking this way. And instead, I'm always looking into the middle of my phone like it's an actual camera. So our focus makes a difference too. What are we focused on? What part of our life are we focused on? What's our perception? What layers and depth are we seeing things to? Are we going deeper and deeper and deeper? Are we looking beyond the obvious and going, okay, if I look a little this way, oh, now I can see the mountain behind there. If I get down and look a little further. You see different things depending on what you're looking for and what you're looking at and what you're willing to look at. And the same thing happens with introspection when you're looking inside yourself. So you just keep peeling back the layers, and it makes a big difference. You know, when you're looking at your vision, have you ever wondered why some people might have their health and nutrition all figured out, and yet they're really not that good about fitness, about exercise, working out? And then there are other people that have their spiritual life and their mindset all set, but their business is struggling. And then other people might be in a position where their business is going really well, and yet they find themselves with relationships that just really don't work out. So why is it that you can have one or two or even multiple areas of your life mastered, and then other areas are just kind of or maybe really bad? What's going on there? How can you be so good at nailing it in one area of your life, and then something else just doesn't work at all? I believe it goes back to the fact that you are much more interested in certain areas of your life, and you've created a much more positive vision for that area of your life, and you backed it with your values, with your beliefs, and even if it's subconscious, even if you don't even realize that you're doing it, there's been all these positive vibes put into your vision that you hold for what you're capable of, and what the outcome is that you want, and what you believe is possible for you in those areas of your life. So it might be something where you say, well, that's just something that's really easy for me. I enjoy it. That's what I do. It just works out. It just flows. But there's a reason that you enjoy it, that it works, that it flows. And it's because of the vision that you hold for that area of your life, where you have a very empowering vision for that particular area of your life. Where other areas of your life where you seem to struggle more, you haven't created that strong, empowering vision for that part of your life. And it isn't backed by empowering belief system that will hold it in place. So that's something for everybody to look at individually and see, where do you have that strong vision in certain areas of your life, and what are the beliefs that you hold that make that possible for you, as opposed to the places where you see that you're struggling more. What are the beliefs that you have there, and what are possibly the subconscious self-talk that's going on, that even though you may be doing affirmations, you may be doing visualization, but whatever holds control of 51% of your mind is what wins. So if 49% of you is doing visualizations, is journaling, is doing affirmations, and doing all this, but 51% of you is the self-talk behind that, saying, well, that'll never work. How many times have you tried that? Or, you know, you're not good at that. Or whatever the self-talk is, whether it's losing weight or being in a happy relationship or making money or whatever that is for you. You have to go deeper and find out what that self-talk is. So take some time today and really think about that. Run it around in your head and say, okay, let me really look at this. Where is this going on for me? Where am I just on autopilot and everything is running smooth, and why is that? And where am I not on that smooth track, and why is that happening? And see what you come up with. So it's also that besides the self-talk, it's the outgrowth of the stories that we tell ourselves. Some of our stories, we've been sticking to them for so many years, we couldn't even think about when they started or where they started. They're just, it's like pushing a button, and this is your story for that part of your life. You push another button, and that's the story for that part of your life. And you don't ever challenge those stories. You don't look at them and say, is this even true for me anymore? Is this working? Do I believe these things? Or is it time to create a new story? And so many times we've had stories that we've told ourselves that we've taken on from other people, maybe from childhood, where we say things about ourselves as if they're fact. But if we look back, who says they're fact? It could be that someone told you you were good at something or you weren't good at something as a kid, and you just took that as the truth and ran with it.
I got it.
Okay. Perfect.
So,
For La Huevita,
you know,
she'll have the
it's
vegetarian on it.
Yeah.
what
The
did you
usual.
do? So, now I lost
Regular.
my total train of thought while I'm listening to my breakfast buddy order our breakfast.
No cilantro. Sin cilantro.
So anyway, okay, the stories. That's what we talk about, stories.
Yeah, and I'll have the
So,
eggs and scrambled.
look at the stories in your life.
Flour
Look at the things that are automatic explanations for you of why your life is the way it is, why certain aspects of your life are the way they are.
No, it is. Huevos cocidos.
And then, hi Sammy.
Con tortilla.
And then when you look at those stories, decide if that story that you've been telling yourself is really serving you, if that's really moving you forward and empowering you, taking you closer to the life that you want to create. The good news is, if it isn't, it's never too late. At any point, you can just stop, pivot, and write a new script. And that's part of what creating a vision for your life is all about. Once you've got those value statements and you have your goals and you have your action plan and you're looking at creating a vision for your life, you're writing a new script. You're writing a new script for who you really are on the deepest soul level. You're also creating a plan for the life you want to have. So some of it is where you are now and just giving that more concrete form that sets it so that it's more dependable, that it's based on values and beliefs that serve you now. And the other part of it is creating a vision for where you want to go, who you want to become in your life, what you want your life to look like, what you want your relationships to look like, what you want your business to look like, what you want your body to look and feel like, how healthy do you want to be, what kind of information do you want to be putting in your mind on a daily basis. All of those things, they're a part of your vision, and you want to have them all grounded in a story and a belief system and values that serve you to live the life that you want to create. And that goes for your business as well. So it's important to know that you can rewrite that script anytime that you choose to. The question is, have you so far created a vision for your life that's inspiring? Because 5 years or 10 years or 20 years from now, you're going, I hate using the word regret. So I don't know, let's just say that you're going to be more disappointed in, because I really don't believe in regrets, you're going to be more disappointed in the things that you didn't do than the things that you did that didn't turn out perfectly. And I think that's important because it's not about creating a perfect life. It's about creating a perfect vision for what makes you uniquely you. That's the thing. It's all about you. You want to create an individual vision, a vision that if you had it, your vision written out and you handed it to someone else, they would say, wow, this is you. This is totally you. It's not them. It's not someone sitting here at the restaurant at the next table. It would only be your vision, in your uniqueness, all of your quirkiness that makes you you. So it's a vision that's uniquely yours, that allows you to be happy and fully express yourself. And that's really the purpose of a vision. Is it's a tool that aids you in recognizing and becoming everything that you want to be. Rob, I see you're asking me, what are you saying? Philosophically, or are you telling me that my sound is not working again? So, I know Travis told me at the beginning that there was an issue with the sound, so I took out my earbuds, but then he said it was sounding good. So if you're telling me that you can't hear me, then I'm not sure. So if it's philosophically, you'll need to watch the replay of this. If it's sound, then I will need to do a replay of this. So one or the other, we'll figure it out. Nobody else since the first couple minutes has said that there was anything wrong with the sound. So I'm happy that you're here. I hope everybody has been able to hear me. Creating a vision is such an important topic, and we're going to be talking more about that in the future. There are a lot of articles on this topic or surrounding and supporting this topic on agelesslifestyleafter50.com. So if it's a topic that you're interested in, and I guess I'll see when I get home in a few hours and watch this back, if there was a problem with the audio, then I will redo it. Of course, it won't be exactly the same, but we'll see what happens. But there are a lot of articles that you can go and watch, so go and read. So one way or another, we'll get this all figured out. And the other thing is, if you haven't done your manifesto yet, or if you haven't bought the goals program and gone through that yet, both of those are in the right-hand column on Ageless Lifestyle After 50. And for now, the manifesto, what do you stand for, is still free. And of course, you can purchase the goals program. So if you have any questions on this topic or anything else that you would like to discuss, feel free to send me your questions or topics. And I appreciate you all being here. I hope you could hear me. And I will be back here next Saturday, same time, 8 o'clock Mountain Time, every Saturday, live from Office Restaurant, Medano Beach, Cabo San Lucas. See you then. This is Lynn Pierce saying goodbye for now. Bye.